in the folk music scene, I mean, Zoe will tell you a bit more about this, because she's written a brilliant dissertation on this, that folk music is beginning to provide an outlet for women to express their own ideas in a way that they can't necessarily in more mainstream forms of media. So this is not just an accident or coincidence, it's actually part of the kind of whole movement. So, well, I won't say any more about Zoe. You're almost ready, aren't you?
I am.
Great. And she may be able to tell you a bit more about it. I'm putting her on the spot here, but I'm sure she doesn't mind. But yes, so let me introduce Zoe Wren.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Yeah. That's perfect. Thank you. Well, I've been really looking forward to tonight for a while now, so it's really lovely to be here. And I'd like to start by singing you a song that I wrote, which is based on my second least favourite folk song. I won't get started on my first least favourite. But so I'll tell you a little bit about the song first, and I guess look at tonight's theme through the lens of folk and acoustic music and singer-songwriters. So this is from my forthcoming EP, which is called Golden Smoke, and all the songs on my EP are somehow based on traditional songs, whether they're kind of a retelling or a twist on them. So this one is called If I Had a Voice, and it's based on the traditional song. It's a kind of cheerful little ditty called "Oh No, John," and I'll tell you the story of that quickly. So the premise is there's a young woman whose husband, or in some versions father, has gone away to sea and has left her with the instructions that if any man comes along and tries to approach you and chat you up, you have to answer no. You can only say no. So along comes John. And he's trying it on. And this always gets a laugh at folk clubs, right? Because we all love a good humorous man tricks woman into bed story. But this struck me as a little bit creepy. And not only is it very creepy, this unnamed passive woman in this song literally has no voice, and it really struck a chord with me, and I think it's very relevant not only to its kind of traditional roots, but to contemporary times, especially very much right now today. And it's very typical of a lot of folk songs, this kind of women as a kind of passive object who kind of exists to be lusted after and kind of owned by men. And of course, these songs are pretty damn old, right? You've got to cut them some slack. But this is kind of, I guess my point is, these songs have to be looked at in their context. And I think folk has this kind of preoccupation with tradition and age, and that is a very important part to it. But I think what I'm trying to say is that it's important not to lose sight of other things, and that this kind of obsession with age and tradition doesn't kind of lead to this kind of political inertia. Because, the folk scene that we know today really evolved from the sort of 50s and 60s revival, which was really radical and left-wing. So there's definitely a real place for kind of for politics and feminism and all of that in folk today. And songs like this give singer-songwriters like me an interesting starting point for writing a new song. So the song I wrote, If I Had a Voice, is a kind of response to that song. And it's a sort of giving this woman a voice and a sort of a message to the Johns of the world. So there you go. This is If I Had a Voice. It's like trying to swim against the tide. I am one thing by my side and battle cry, and working 2 jobs on the side. But if I had the time, and if I had the time, then I'd give you a piece of my mind. But if I had the time, and if I had the chance to say, and if I had a choice, well, I'd give you a piece of my mind, and I'd ask you to leave. But you choose what you want to believe. I've been written out of my own song. Put back in a box where you think that I belong. Don't you think you're clever fooling me? But if I had the time, and if I had the chance to say, and if I had a voice, well, I'd give you a piece of my mind. Well, I'd give you a piece of my mind. Well, I'd give you a piece of my mind, and I'd ask you to leave. But you choose what you want to